Welcome back to Jackalope Block Party here in Ventura. How's it going, everybody? Todd Richards, Bob Burnquist on the couch next to me, and we have yet another guest.
Ooh.
The brainchild of this entire Jackalope
Mover and shaker.
Ecosphere. Micah Desforges, how are you, buddy?
Yes.
Thank you for sitting down. I mean, dude, we just had...
For a second.
Yeah, you're just blowing in here. You're blowing out of here. We just had Marlis here from Visit Ventura. I mean, this is the first time Jackalopes kind of put their feet on California. Tell us a little bit about why you really wanted to come here and be a part of this.
Todd, it's a dream come true, you know, like coming from the East Coast in a rural town, growing up watching, action sports. California has always been on our radar. And when we met, Marlis and I and the whole team from Ventura, like we really felt at home from the first meeting. We visited a bunch of different sites in the city. And really, when we sat down and had lunch at Finney's, we were like, this is a spot. And it's a really tight spot to put on the vert between the two buildings. The city's been awesome, but it means a lot. This is a dream come true, literally.
Yeah, and it's been so sick. And, like, just being involved with Jackalope myself from, kind of the earlier inception to last year, seeing it kind of expand to now. I mean, you've got big plans for Jackalope. It's not just this. There's a lot more going on with this. Kind of explain to you what the vision is. You rolling out an app now too. Like, what's the overall just like view?
So basically, we are doing this event for free for the community, and we want everyone to come and be introduced or reintroduced to skateboarding and action sports, right? But over the year, we've been growing the event in 5 different cities across the world in 3 countries. Started in Montreal, we got Mississauga. We also have Virginia Beach on the East Coast, now Ventura. And we also we're doing it in Newcastle, Australia. So as we're growing and building this world tour of 10, 20 different cities, we also wanted to connect the community and really create kind of a hub, because right now, like everyone else, we're going through social media, Instagram, you name it, TikTok. So having the Jackalope app really is kind of our way to open the dialogue with the community. And there's way more features, let's put it this way, that are coming. But the goal is to keep the event free, super accessible. We're rolling out merch. We're rolling out the app this year. We got what we call the Jackalope Crew, which the crew is basically kind of a membership, if you want to call it this way. So it's $100 a year to get 10% on everything we do. So if you want a VIP pass, or if you want to be like purchasing some merch, we got our own merch, but we also have other brands coming online on our store on the platform. So really what we're building is kind of a community lifestyle brand. I know it's a lot of buzzword, but at the end of the day, we want to offer something that has value for the guests that do get introduced or reintroduced to the action sports through Jackalope and our destination partners, and really try to tell them, we're more than 3 days in one market. We're all year long, baby. Let's go. So we also partnered with Skate Nation as an example, where we have experience where people can go online and buy like it's like a 1 week trip in California where you can come in July. That's an example of something people can buy. And if you do have that Jackalope Crew membership or that Jackalope annual pass, which is $100, you get 10 to 15% on everything on the store. So on the merch, on the experience, whether they're on site or whether they're outside of the festival ecosystem, like the Skate Nation. So we're going to be rolling out lots of different features around the membership, the Jackalope Crew, and we're stoked to be here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at Jackalope. So, I mean, now it's gone everywhere, and you have the app to follow, to see what's happening, what's the schedule like, what happened in the other events. So, you got the merch there. So all things Jackalope on the app, that helps, using technology to bring that community together.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool as we were kind of talking earlier about it. And I've always been a big fan of Jackalope because I feel like there's such a missing piece of skateboarding now to showcase the younger up and coming talent. And we were kind of talking about how the to be part of the crew kind of opens it up almost like, and I don't really want to say it, but like an Icon Pass or Epic Pass. You get discounts. You get this pass, and it kind of opens doors into, say, skate parks or, different experiences within action sports that kind of just gives people a little bit more access to other things and communities and different things like that. So I think it's really cool to be able to connect all those dots with this.
Yeah, we were chatting earlier, and there's so much kind of we can do with it, because right now with the 5 events we're doing, we're touching 200,000 people that come through all of our events a year. There's millions that are either connected through some piece of content on social media and whatnot. But to go back to the essence, if there was a weather delay right now, we would have to do, let's say, an Instagram story or a post, and people would not probably notice. But with the app, we can just send a push notification to everyone and say, guys, stand by, there's a weather delay or there's something happening. But on the cool side, we can also organize private session, maybe at Bob's Place or maybe at a private skate park.
As we had with Skate Nation last year, and I got to hang with the crew.
Now, you grew up skating in East Coast. So did I. I mean, like you were saying, I can really resonate with what you were saying about, like, small town, you want this experience. And I know you're a skater. What's been your biggest takeaway so far from the weekend?
So far, so good. It's kind of a dream come true. Like I mentioned, just to be here, the picturesque look and feel. I'm like, this is awesome to be able to share this experience with everyone. The girls' finals were epic, to be honest. Like, I was filming the whole time, and I can't wait to see the men's final. But also the best trick, seeing Bob on the ramp, seeing Clay, seeing everyone call in, from VB. So it's really about creating the platform and then hoping that you put everything in place so that magic moment can happen. And with Jackalope, we say you got to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
So you got to come. If you're watching home and you're kind of grasping a little bit of that essence, that culture, even if they sound like buzzword, I truly invite everyone at home and anyone who's watching, you got to make the trip, because seeing it is believing it. Yeah. And I truly believe personally that there's something special about to happen. Maybe not this weekend, hopefully this weekend, but everything for me started when Tony did his 900 at X Game back in the days. That small clip that I saw growing up in the countryside inspired me a full journey. So maybe this is going to inspire a lot of people through their own journey and push their own limit. And that's kind of our open invitation for people to come into the Jackalope crew, bring something to the table, and let's go. That's
all right. It's the Jackalope magnetism. I felt it when I first went out to Virginia Beach. I mean, even back in 2018, I think in Montreal when I first went, people are base jumping. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is my kind of spot, and again, being with the generation of different, being on the deck with the young kids, the older kids. You got Caballero, Christian Osoy. This is the type of session that we're used to,
Well, speaking of that,
all right,
we got the youth. They are dropping in very soon here. We're going to go a little recap of what it was like for semifinals yesterday